Hey guys, Casey here. I know many of you have been commenting on my video of the work in progress of the Liger Zero Panzer Kotobukiya high-end master model set, and truth is I've had it built for quite a while now. I just haven't ever gotten around to doing a video, so I decided to go ahead and take him back apart and actually glue parts together. Everything still moves. When I actually built him, I didn't glue anything unless it actually needed to be glued, so it was a little more fragile. I did go ahead and actually glue everything together, so while he was apart I figured it'd be a good time to actually make a video. Now here is obviously the naked Liger Zero. I did go ahead and panel-lined everything except for the black, and I did paint silver and gold details in spots. Of course it does have the big cloud figure in there. As for the posability, his head's on a ball joint. It actually swivels here and goes up and down. The arms, these pads right here, are actually on a little ball joint in there, so they're fully movable, but the legs are also on a ball joint there. The legs bend here. These actually go in and out to give them more range of movement, and the feet are on ball joint. That's the same for both of the front legs, and obviously this is like this, so you can move his leg. You can see his leg will still move, but this won't get in the way. As for the middle body, it does go in and out. In the standard mode like this, he bends about that much, but when you bring this out, you can actually bend more. So it bends like that. The back legs are same as the front, except for it has a joint here and here. And then it does have, if I can find it, it does have another joint that slides out right there. And these are the same. And then back here the tail will move here, and then all these are individual segments, and they do all rotate. That's the basis of the normal Liger Zero without any armor. I think I'm standing back up and show you a quick comparison. Here he is. Here's the fully armored up Liger Zero. So you can see the difference it makes without the armor. We'll get him out of here. Now the basis of the video obviously is the Panzer armor, which you can see is all right here. There is quite a lot. Now like I said, he does come with a lot of parts here. All these different ones, like these are for the shoulders, but not only is it like this, if you know anything about the Zoids show, all of these actually opened up. Some of them are actually kind of hard to get to because he had tons of missiles on him. These doors right here are a little hard to open. That's why I did go through and glue these. That way it does make it stronger. I would recommend when you are building them, especially this guy, to actually glue as you go, but make sure you don't glue something that's actually supposed to move, because there's a lot of moving parts. So just pay attention to your gluing. That's why what I did was put it together ahead of time and then went and took it back apart and glued it, so I knew what did what. I'll give you a look at his big cannons here before I attach them. It does have this right here, which opens up. It has all those missiles. This part on the back opens up. And he does have these two giant guns. Now they will go like this. They do raise up and down, and these actually slide out. So you can get quite a bit of posability with these big guns. However you want to do, so we can shoot at whoever he wants. Alright guys, let's get to what you actually came here to see and get Liger Zero equipped with the Panzer armor here. We are going to start in the back. I have to slide some of this out of the way so I can actually get to him. You have this piece, these pieces right here. Now they do move just like so. It gives them more of a stabilizer for his legs. What you're going to do here, this will actually pop off. This is one of those cases where if you're gluing them you need to be careful, because if you were to glue this you wouldn't be able to get it off of him. But this will just come around and attach to his leg. Like so. And this piece has a little peg in here which will peg into that hole and also slot into the leg. If I can get this on here. It's hard to do with the camera in front of me. And that's one. There we go. That's one on there. You can see that goes down and it does move right there. Let me pull him off camera real fast and get the other one on. There we go. You can see both his back legs have that. Now we're going to take these pieces. There's one for both sides. And there is another peg right in there that these will actually peg into, just like so. And there's another one for the other side. Goes on just like so. And they do peg in very snugly. And you can see his back legs are starting to come together. Now you're going to take these ones. Now don't get this one mixed up with this one. They are pretty close, but they attach differently. If you take on top of him, there's this little hole right in there. And then pay attention to this here and this notch. And this will actually, there's that little channel there. You can see right there. But this will slide over. And then you kind of just got to push it down. And that will actually lock this onto that leg piece. So now he's got a big old bulky back leg. Bring him around to the other side and we'll attach the other one on real quick. Same as the other one. So there's nothing really too spectacular to have to show you guys. Just like so. Now there is this part right here that actually goes over the tail, the end of the tail here, where it attaches into the body. This just slots right over that. Slides down in little grooves. And now, as you can see right next to that, right in there, is a little H looking spot there. And there's one on this too. And this will actually peg in right on top of here very securely. Now he's starting to get some really bulky back legs. Before we forget, we'll bring down the tail. And now it did come with extra sections, so instead of just separating the tail, I like to leave it like this so there is part on. But this is no longer needed. That gets replaced by this. It does have missiles in here. And now these guns are supposed to rotate here, but they did break because the pegs are so fragile in there. So they are glued on, but it works for me. I never posed those anyway. And I'll peg that right on there, just like so. Sorry about the dog barking, guys. Can't help it, he likes to bark. Now I'm going to take this here. This is actually the undergun. If you look on Liger Zero and Jaeger and Schneider, they all have this type of gun. He comes with one of those, I just don't know where I have placed it. But his gets upgraded to this, which is another set of missile launchers, which come right underneath here and peg onto that peg right in the blue section. Just like so. And they do move. Gives him some missile launchers under his front. And we have these two pieces as well. These will actually go in right here. There's a black little piece here that these will peg right into. It does rotate, so sometimes they are a pain in the butt to get in there. Once you get that, you can close that right up. And same on the other side. And it does like to rotate on you, like I said. So sometimes it's a pain in the butt to get on there, while other times it's not. Now I have that. As you can see, this is one of the problems with the tail pieces I've ran into, is they like to flop. Just like that. They'll be fine on a shelf, but once you start bumping them is when they start falling over. Now for this gun right here, you actually need, it can peg right on the back, but it actually comes with a little brace here that pegs into those two little holes right there. Make sure I peg it the right way here. And that pegs on right there. Just give it more of a brace for the big back guns. But we'll put those on last because it's a little easier without them on yet. Now if you lift up the head, he does have his Zoid core, but it actually comes with a piece to cover it and protect it. It's just a little square there and it pegs right over this. Make sure I'm putting it on the right way. Just like that, and then this will close right back down over it. And that will actually slide right back in. It gives them more armor on there. For the hips here on the front, these just do the same thing as on the back. There's the peg here, there's a peg inside there. These will slide down on the track and peg right in. Just like so. I'll do it on this side as well. Sometimes they're more of a pain than others. As you can see, it is starting to add quite a bit of weight on here. And after that, let's bring the camera down so you can see a little better. After that, we have 2 more leg pieces that will peg in on holes right there and right there. Let's peg on just like that. And like that. Let's bring in the guns. Get these out of the way. There is 3 pegs. And on the top there is the 3 holes. These will actually peg right into there. Just like so. Give him some massive guns on his back. Just like that. These are models. Don't get them confused with toys. So there is a lot of movement and a lot of fragile parts, so you do have to be careful with them. And it does make him quite a bit more fiddly to arrange and pose. But once you get him in a good pose, that's where I usually keep him. Which is why I have my Liger Zero here. And his strike laser claw pose. You see they are sturdy. They'll stand on 3 legs real easy. But we're almost done. All we have left are the head parts. So we'll take this, bring the camera down a little more, focus a little more on the head. There is this piece right here. Underneath the head is a bar right there and a peg hole. That just pegs right on over that. And there's also one on the sides of the head that these pieces will peg onto. Just like so. And then there's this piece right here that will peg into the hole on the top of the head. And sometimes it works a little better to open up the top there. Because it does move. And then close that back up. And the last 2 pieces are these for the sides of his head, which you come around here. There's a hole here and a hole here, and then 2 pegs there and there. This will actually just peg on, once we get the gun out of the way, right on the side of the face. And same with over here. Get this gun out of the way, right on there. Get everything positioned right. And here we have Liger Zero Panzer. As you can see, he is very, very bulky. Obviously out of the 4 of them, he is the biggest one. He is the hardest one to get in a really good pose because he has so much weight to him and he's very bulky. If I bring in my scale here, turn that on. He is actually almost 13 ounces, so he's getting really close to a pound, which is quite heavy compared to Liger Zero, who is only 8 ounces. So he's a little under double the weight of all the other guys, especially Liger Zero. So he's not, especially from Japan, he's not cheap to ship. But the biggest feature on him is obviously all the missiles. And when he goes into his attack mode, all the missiles will actually pop out. So he has the doors on his legs will slide open, revealing missiles. These will all pop open, revealing missiles. You grab something to pop the doors open with. Maybe this gun here, because some of them are hard to get into. Three little missiles in there. Three little missiles in there. When I do this, I like to fold these down. Gets them out of the way for the big cannons. There is the missiles on his mouth, the missiles underneath. These panels on his leg open up and reveal missiles. If I can get them open here. And those panels we showed on the side that were hard to get in there, right in here, these will actually come down and the whole white piece there will slide out. And there's more missiles. Same on the other side. Folds down and comes out. Now if that's not enough missiles, you have this one, or this that pops open. And if I can get to the door, which this wants to be a stinker today as well. And it looks like Liger's gonna fall down on me. There is this door that reveals all those missiles. So he's got plenty of missiles on him. And that's not even all of them yet. And these will go back up. Bring around back here. These open. These open. And right in here, those open. Around the back, these open. Bring them back around to this side. These open, and again the ones on the legs open. Come over here, the tail ones open. And because he is going to be so heavy, when he fires these, down here, these stabilizers will actually flip down. because it puts so much weight. In the show, as you can see, if you've seen it, he slides back quite a bit when he shoots, but those just help him from flipping over. If I can get him in more of a standing up straight pose all around. And there we have all the missile doors open. Give me a second, I'll get the tripod off the camera and I'll give you a little better view. Alright, here's a little better view for you guys of all the missiles. There is missile pods everywhere on this guy. Everywhere. Even underneath there is the missiles in that, on the legs. If we get a view from the top, I guess we can't really do that much. A view from the top, there's the missiles on the sides down there, on the legs. There's missiles everywhere, even on the tail. So he is very missile-y, very imposing. Give me just 1 second, guys. Alright. This guy is definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite, out of the 4 model choices we have for Liger Zero. Out of the Jaeger, Schneider, Panzer, and the base Liger Zero. I just love this guy. I can't get enough of how many missiles he has. A good coat of sparkly red paint, which I did use this can of metal specs for all the red missiles. They do shine. And I also used them for all the little red knobs on all of my guys. They are a red color, but it's leaning more towards a pink. So it does look a lot better with the red, I think. And before I leave you guys, here is regular Liger Zero. You can see how big Panzer is compared to him. Just so much armor. The only thing I can knock down about the Panzer armor is he's more of a brick that just has to sit there. He isn't as easy to pose, like you would never be able to pull off this pose very well with him, just due to the amount of mass he has from all the armor. But in the show, he never really did it that much. He was more of a go out there and shoot at everything rather than a fast racing Zoid. So for that, I mean, I can't really knock it down too much, but it is almost pointless to have all the posability and not be able to use it. But it is the same base Liger as all 4 of the models, including this one. The only difference is obviously the armor on him. So I do think he's pretty good. So that's about all I have. Finally did get around, like I said, finally did get around to the video. I'm sorry it did take me so long. I just, between moving, getting married, and then I never really had time to get it out, and then I finally decided to do one after I had already take everything apart to glue it anyway, so thought you guys would enjoy that. And sorry about the long video, it's just a lot of armor compared to all the other ones. So I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments what other videos you would like to see. I do have all 4 of the Ligers. If you would like me to do a review of the other 3 or not, fully completed, just let me know. Thanks for watching, everyone. Alright guys, I did want to add a quick little bit to the video here. Did want to show off Panzer with the other 4, or the other 3 I should say. Show you how they look. He does go very well with them. And I did actually save the box art figured it made a really good display here. You can see Panzers in the background there. But he's just so menacing, just sitting there. There's Jaeger and Liger Zero and Schneider. But thanks again, everyone.